Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And I want to welcome my panel. I have Susan Jarboe and Reverend Linda, and I'm Kathy Cronin. And we will be doing a topic taken from the Unity website. So before we do that, let's take a moment to get centered and be in the present. So if it helps to close your eyes, to take a few deep breaths in and release those. Anything that helps you to feel more centered and focused and being here in this presence. And we call upon the Holy Spirit to come within and open our hearts, our minds. And we say, thank you for this blessing of this day, for these moments that we share, and for the wisdom that is given to us. We know we are enlightened by the will of thy good, and that we are so thankful to be able to do this together. Amen. So today I'm taking a topic from I was browsing the Unity website, and I found this article that was written by Ernest Wilson. And Ernest Wilson has written numerous books, and he was uh, basically, he founded Christ Church Unity in Los Angeles, and he served as the Unity Temple on the Plaza in Kansas City. He retired in 1976, and he wrote 17 books and many poems and articles that often appear on Unity Radio. So Ernest Wilson has been a longtime minister and author and writing for Unity. And the article that caught my attention was, since we've just gone through the Easter season, and this was Living on Purpose, Learning from the Life of Jesus. And so I'm going to read what he wrote into this article. It's pretty short. It says, so what is the role and meaning of our divine destiny? The lessons of Holy Week helped us better understand our true purpose. If you look at what Jesus went through during Holy Week, the hour has come, and for this purpose I have come to this hour, said Jesus. The connotation is depressing if we think only of the immediately related events. It is reassuring, even inspiring, to one who looks beyond the immediate to the ultimate. There is nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come, declared the writer Victor Hugo. The life of Jesus was the embodiment of a world-changing idea. A part of the greatness of Jesus was that he not only had and recognized a purpose in his life, but followed through to its fulfillment. So, hearing the call of the universe, there is a purpose for the life of each one of us. Some of us seem to sense this even before we can define it. And so we may say, as we face some climatic experience, for this hidden purpose, I have come to this hour. To have the conviction that there is a divine destiny which, as the poet says, shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will, can be very comforting and reassuring. In such a conviction, we are reaching past time into eternity, wherein cause and effect, idea and expression are not separated as they appear to be, but are one. Cultivate a feeling for this truth, and it will bring you increased confidence, a sense of adequacy, of purpose. Say and let it be not from your intellect alone, but from your heart. For this purpose was I brought to the time, this place, this hour. By God's grace, I am always in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing in the right way. Such a realization is like a call to the universe. It helps to put us in tune with universal forces, and most especially to align us with the purpose we are to serve. the lessons we are to learn, the blessings we are to receive, enjoy, and share with others. What is our destiny? Does this mean then that the path of our life is predetermined? Then we have no choice in such matters? We have a destiny that is like the destination of a ship on a long sea voyage. The path of the ship may vary due to weather, but its direction is set. The passengers have considerable freedom, the freedom of the ship, but not of the sea. Time is a characteristic of this plane of life in which for a time we dwell. We come, that is, we approach experiences in consciousness. Our recognition of purpose, our feelings of intent evokes the declaration, the hour has come, or there is a good purpose that brings me to this hour, this experience. Apparently, the psalmist recognized this concept when he cried, "Open to me the gates of righteousness, that I may enter through them and give thanks to the Lord. This is the gate of the Lord, the righteous shall enter through. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes." So I want to share my thoughts on this. This opened my eyes to the fact of recognizing that I often ask, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What is it I'm supposed to be doing? And when I read this, I realized that each and every moment I'm serving my purpose. Whatever it is I'm doing and whoever it is I'm interacting with, I'm there for a purpose. And now, if I can ask myself, that I'm here in this moment, this time, in this place for God's divine purpose for me. It is recognizing that every moment that we live, we are fulfilling our divine purpose. That whether we were meant to be a mother, to have children, to be a spouse, to be a teacher, to be a preacher, whatever we were meant to be, each moment God is in that direction. We are like that ship on the sea. And sometimes weather may veer that ship off course. Well, things may veer us off course. Things may turn in a different direction, and you go, that wasn't the direction I was planning on going. But if you stay focused on the destination, that you are here to walk this path with divine wisdom and guidance, then seeing the times that you're veered off path or that crisis comes up in your life, the crisis, you can ask yourself, I am here for a reason, that in this moment, this time, I am here for some reason, that God has a purpose, and that's why he brings it to us. When we think about Jesus knowing his life right from the start, that his purpose was to be there to serve and teach and to do these things. And when it came to Holy Week, he knew his end was coming, and that was his purpose. And just the whole thing, if you're dealing with an illness, is saying, that I am walking through this and there's a lesson in here for me, that there's a purpose for me as I go through an illness, as I go through these challenges. Just looking for the divine in that time and moment helps you understand, or for me to understand my purpose. Why am I here? And what is it I am to do from this? What is I to learn? So I want to open this to my panel to share their ideas on how living on purpose, and if Jesus's life has inspired them to understand that purpose, or if anything in this article gave them some understanding. So who would like to share first? Thanks, Susan.
Thank you, Kathy, for presenting a subject on purpose. And I have to say, I'm intrigued by what you were reading, because uh, the idea of what is my purpose has plagued me for most of my life. I've always envied people who seem to know what their purpose is. My purpose is to become a nurse and heal people. And I've really never been able to say, this is my purpose, until, sadly, my husband fell ill. And then I was able to say, well, my purpose at this point in time is to take care of him. But since that time, there hasn't been anything obvious, nothing that fell in my lap, such that I could say, aha, this is my purpose. I do believe that we are, and I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, that I am in the right place at the right time for something, and that I don't need to articulate a purpose to be used for God's purposes. And I was thinking of a woman, a Saint Therese of Lisieux, and when she entered a convent, she wanted to do big things. She wanted to convert murderers to God. And she had what she later realized were really grandiose ideas of her purpose. And she came to understand that we see God, we can serve God, we can manifest a purpose in all of the little things that we do in life. And that is where being where, or believing that we are where we are supposed to be, is a very comforting thought. The way I have sorted through my purpose is by applying a quotation from Shakespeare: the readiness is all. And so I keep up with my daily rounds. I pay attention to my spiritual growth. And if something comes up that is obviously my purpose, I want to be ready for it. Otherwise, my purpose is in all of the things I do all day long. Thank you, Kathy, for bringing up a subject, that has puzzled me at many times in my life.
Love the topic. I love the feedback. I especially loved in the reading when you hit on it. What happens to free will? Is it destiny? I believe that some of the decisions when we come into this life, we make some of those decisions before we come into this life, call it destiny or whatever, but there are agreements that we make coming into this life that could be called our purpose. And I also agree with the fact that our purpose changes, that we can have more than one purpose. We can have plenty of purposes. And I feel like when we're open to serving our highest good and our highest purpose, that God will use us wherever we're needed if we're open to that. I've got an example. Those of you who know me know that I tend to keep a pretty busy schedule and a pretty full plate. And one of the things that is a result of that is often I'm focused on what's coming next rather than this moment. And that was my truth in the grocery store early in the morning. I had stopped by on my way to my next appointment because I knew there was going to be a sale on ice cream, and I wanted to see if they had my favorite flavor of ice cream. So I'm in the ice cream aisle. I'd made sure I had plenty of time before my next appointment to make this stop, just checking. And I ran into a man, perfect stranger, never seen him again. And I told him I was looking for my favorite flavor of ice cream, or maybe he told me. And I asked him, "What's your favorite flavor?" And he said, "Coffee." Well, that's my favorite flavor too. And he told me how coffee always reminded him of being in the trenches when he served in the war, and that he would make coffee in his helmet. And he went on to explain to me that he used his helmet for everything. It was the shovel that he digged a foxhole with, it was what he ate out of, what he drank out of. That helmet was probably the most important piece of his equipment. He went on to tell me that he had watched his entire troop die while in service and that it wasn't worth it. And in that moment, when I'm having this random discussion with this guy over, of all things, ice cream, I knew that my purpose was to be there, right there, and to bear witness to the memories that he shared with me. And it was just such a powerful knowing that I knew this conversation was probably the most important thing I was going to do all day long, was sit and talk to this guy about his memories and what coffee meant to him. And those kind of things happen as often, I think, as we allow them to happen. That when we make room in our lives and our awareness, that we can serve many purposes for ourselves and for others. I know I'm on purpose with whatever it is I'm doing, because it's a feeling of warmth that wells up in me, a feeling I can't really describe, that just brings me completely and totally to right here, right now. Every ounce of my being, every ounce of my focus is right here. And I know I'm serving a purpose, that I'm living on purpose. And the more open we are to those situations, I think the more they happen to us. So I don't know if you got anything out of that at all or not, but it meant a lot to me. So thank you for bringing up this topic.
Well, thank you, Reverend Linda. And it made perfect sense, because that simple story of listening to somebody tell their story was, you were a divine purpose being there to hear this person. And something, when we don't even think about it, it's like, why am I here? And what is this reason? It's just recognizing and saying, I'm here for a purpose, and if it's just to listen, is what it is. And what a wonderful story to hear about, so, don't underestimate your divine purpose, that, we are living on purpose. And it's this, everything that we do in every single moment of our day, there's a purpose. So I want to invite my panel back to be able to thank them and be able to recognize that we come together. This is part of our divine purpose, is to be here and to share our thoughts with the people that turn into this video. And you can be a part of that divine purpose by joining our panel. That maybe something you have to share can fill and touch somebody else. I recently, from a recent video, somebody sent me a text message that it had touched her so deeply. And many times we don't know who we're reaching when we share these thoughts. And you may sort of hear something and go, why, that was so touching. I needed to hear that. And just recognize that was our divine purpose, that the three of us came together to do this taping, to share something that may touch somebody out there that needed to hear that. So please join us if you're interested to share your thoughts. We welcome you to be a part of this panel. We also welcome your comments, your feedback, and any interesting subjects that you would like to have discussed. We are open to bringing those out there because we are here fulfilling a divine purpose. We were given this divine role, and blessings to Reverend Linda and her husband for putting these videos together, for getting us orchestrated, and for Unity Church of El Cajon for sponsoring this, that they, fulfilling each of us, and all of them are filling it. So please be a part of that purpose and join us. And we want to thank you until the next time we have another video together. We look forward to hearing from you. So bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.